18 Morale warships have just entered the far side of the system bearing Mark 617.924, yelled a crew member as the Alliance fleet began to maneuver for the incoming new threat. The tension was mounting as we confronted the combined might of the Noan and Morale fleets. Our scanners blared with warnings as the enemy ships closed in, their formations tight and imposing. Admiral Docker's voice crackled over the comms, his orders clear and concise. All ships take defensive positions around the large asteroid field around Barnard Star B planet. We hold our ground and use the asteroid field as a natural defense to our flanks. All Marines on the surface are to dig in and hold until we return. As I said before, my job as a pilot is to stay topside and keep the battle going up here. I gripped the controls of my fighter, my heart pounding with anticipation as the enemy ships came into view. With a deep breath, I engaged my thrusters and soared into battle alongside my squadron. The clash of lasers and explosions filled the void of space as we exchanged fire with the enemy, each side fighting tooth and nail for control of the system. As the battle raged on, it became apparent that victory would not come easily. The Noan and Morale fleets were formidable adversaries, their ships relentless in their assault. We fought tooth and nail to hold our defensive position, our ships weaving through the asteroid field as we traded blows with the enemy. Despite our best efforts, the Morale ships managed to break through our lines and deploy ground troops to Barnard Star D. My heart sank as I watched their dropships descend towards the surface, knowing that the Space Marines and Klopp slaves below would face a fierce onslaught. With grim determination, we redoubled our efforts, determined to repel the invaders and protect our comrades at all costs. I could only wonder how the Space Marines were faring on Barnard Star D and silently wished them the best of luck.
As Space Marines, it was our duty to hold the line against the relentless onslaught of the Morale forces. Captain Rossi's voice echoed in my earpiece as he barked out orders, organizing our defensive positions deep within the tunnels. We knew that we couldn't hope to match the Morale's air support, so we focused on maximizing our small arms fire and holding our ground. The battle that ensued was brutal and unrelenting. Wave after wave of Morale soldiers charged at us, their laser pistols blazing as they attempted to overwhelm our defenses. Despite the heavy casualties we sustained, we stood firm, refusing to surrender even an inch of ground to the enemy. These four-armed, overgrown alien toads are tough, no doubt about it, but they made one fatal mistake. They chose the Marines as their enemy today. A mistake many have made in the past, and like them, they will pay for it in blood. As the battle raged on, the toll of war became increasingly evident. I watched as some of my fellow Marines made the ultimate sacrifice as they fell in combat, their sacrifices weighing heavily on my heart. Captain Rossi's grim determination was a testament to our resolve, but the losses we suffered were staggering. Yet, despite the odds stacked against us, we continued to fight with every ounce of strength we had. With rifles, pistols, rockets, grenades, blades, we held them back. And if we were down to only the rocks, no Marine would hesitate to crush a Morale skull with one. Amidst the chaos and carnage, I found myself drawing upon reserves of courage I never knew I possessed. Each Morale that fell under our fire served as a grim reminder of the cost of war. Yet, we knew that we could not falter, for the fate of Barnard Star D and its enslaved inhabitants hung in the balance. I kept repeating in my head the words passed down from every Marine that came before me to keep me going, Semper Fi.
The battle in the asteroid field raged on. Admiral Docker's voice echoed over the comms, rallying our forces for a counterattack. With renewed determination, we launched a fierce assault on the Morale ships, targeting their vulnerable flanks and driving them back from Barnard Star D. The enemy was caught off guard by our ferocity, and one by one their ships began to fall. With the Morale fleet in retreat, we turned our attention to the remaining Noan ships, pressing our advantage and pushing them back. The tide of battle had shifted in our favor. Finally, we were able to break through and give the Space Marines on Barnard Star D air support once more to turn the battle on the ground as well. Hold on, Marines, we are on our way.
Every Marine still in the fight was near exhaustion. As the battle raged into its final hours, it became clear that we were reaching the breaking point. Our ammunition was running low, and the relentless onslaught of the morale forces showed no signs of abating. Yet, despite the overwhelming odds, Captain Rossi refused to surrender, his unwavering resolve inspiring us to continue fighting. In a final, desperate stand, we fought with everything we had, determined to hold out until reinforcements arrived. As the last of our ammunition was spent and the enemy closed in around us, I braced myself for the inevitable. But just when all hope seemed lost, the sound of distant gunfire echoed through the tunnels, signaling the arrival of reinforcements. With renewed determination, we pressed on, knowing that victory was within our grasp. We allowed ourselves a moment of relief, knowing that we had successfully defended Barnard Star D and dealt a significant blow to our adversaries.
After the intense battle with the Morale and Noan fleets, our forces were left battered but not broken. As the dust settled, it became evident that both sides had suffered heavy losses. Our Alliance fleet had been diminished, with only 60% of our original ships still battle-ready. However, despite our reduced numbers, we had proven that we were not outclassed by our adversaries. As we regrouped our forces at the edge of the system, I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief mixed with apprehension. The Morale and Noan fleets may have retreated, but we knew they would not give up so easily. According to our sensors, the Morale fleet had lost over 40% of their ships, and the Noan fleet was reduced to less than half of their original number. We braced ourselves for the possibility of another assault, knowing that we must remain vigilant in order to defend our territory. With our forces regrouped at the edge of the system, we remained vigilant, scanning the vast expanse of space for any signs of enemy activity. The Alliance fleet may have taken a heavy toll, but our determination remained unwavering. We were prepared to face whatever came our way in order to protect our territory and the freedom of those under our care. As we stood ready for the next battle, I felt a sense of pride in my fellow soldiers and the Alliance fleet as a whole. Despite the odds stacked against us, we had proven our resilience and strength in the face of adversity. With our resolve unshaken, we awaited the next move of our adversaries, prepared to meet them head-on with everything we had. With our Space Marines recovered and our position on Barnard Star D reinforced, we knew the day was ours. Victory came at a price, but not one of our service members regretted paying that price. This is who we are. This is humanity that every other interstellar race fails to recognize. We do not back down. We are willing to pay the high price of freedom wherever it is owed. Humans may be called renegades, ignorant or even foolish for the actions we take, but it is our choice to make. Every life laid down for what we see as righteous is willingly paid by every human that calls themselves free. In a galaxy where slavery and oppression is seen as an everyday of life, we will not be silent on such matters. Too much blood has been spilt in our history for those fighting for their right to freedom for us, humanity, to turn a blind eye towards it. This battle has been won, but all Noan, Morale, or any other intergalactic race out there listening, this is who we are. This is what we do. And humanity will be acknowledged amongst the stars either by our words or our actions.